Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Audrey and today I'm doing my daughter's third birthday party prep. She chose Minnie Mouse this year and I am so excited about this theme and how it turned out. I cannot wait till you guys see the end. The final product is absolutely amazing. She was so excited. We went with Wild 3. And it is off of the Minnie Mouse Bowtique. She loves that show. She's really into it. She wanted to be Minnie Mouse for this party. And so I went all out, bought the balloons. Online is where I found two of the kits to make these balloon arches. But of course, if you've seen my party prep videos in the past, I always just do them by hand. I don't use like any of the pieces that they give me. I do like a ribbon and the balloon. So I love this. I think it's a must to have it if you're going to do a balloon arch, to blow up your balloons. Once I blew them all up, those balloons that you'll see as Wild 3, you had to do just blow up by your mouth. And then all of these balloons I blew up with that little machine, which is just air. So I attach a string to the door and then I go through and I just kind of wrap it around a balloon and it makes such a beautiful arch. This one I chose to do the confetti balloons again. And the only thing I will say is if those things pop, it is a mess all over the place. So I definitely ended up sweeping a few times because one or two had popped. Which is just inevitable. It's gonna happen when you do balloons. They're gonna pop sometimes. But I love the mix of the light pink and the dark pink with the black, and those clear confetti balloons are just such a great mix. The polka dots really make it look more like a Minnie Mouse theme. So I love the way that these balloons came together. Remember, it's not one kit only. So I even bought those confetti balloons separate as well. So it's kind of cute how I mixed a few to make this happen. My sweet friend is over late at night with me because if you've seen this before, I party prep all in one night. The night that they go to sleep before their birthday party, I do all the planning. And so she came over to help me for a few hours. She stayed until I think 11 or 12 and then I actually stayed up pretty much all night. I slept for 2 hours from 3 to 5 that night and that was it, and then I got back up. So it's definitely late nights, not for everybody, this planning, but I absolutely love doing this for the girls. I wanted to have somewhat of a background, so I took tablecloths and I just hung them up above my sign, the thankful and blessed sign, and this just makes it so that it pulled the theme together with the Wild 3 in front of it. I think it turned out pretty good. At first I was a little skeptical, like at this point I wasn't sure it was going to come together right. This was the main focus, so I really spent a lot of time just making sure that it looked the way I wanted it, and I had to lift up a few times the tablecloth higher. But I love the way the balloon arch takes up so much room and it's like the main focus of the room. So Wild 3 definitely fits my daughter Anova-Lys. Next, I purchased this photo booth backdrop from Walmart. This was kind of a last minute idea because I kind of forgot to purchase a backdrop online. So I'm so happy that Walmart had something that I could do. I love to have like a little backdrop right when you walk in. This is what you would see first. And this just helps tie in the theme, allows the kids to take pictures in front of it or parents to take pictures of their kids. And so I pulled in the theme with adding Anova-Lys Bowtique. I used the Cricut to cut these letters out, and I think it turned out so cute. I used the Disney font. So Anova-Lys Bowtique was printed super easy with using that, and I think it turned out really cute. I had to adjust it a few times, add things, and I just love the bright gold with the pink and black. I think it's really sharp looking. And you'll see at the end, it really ties everything in together. but I love how this little backdrop turned out. And honestly, I cannot express enough how much I use my Cricut for things like this, or even in my classroom. As most of you know, I'm a teacher, and so I use it all the time. I think that they're really a amazing tool. And comment down below, do you guys use your Cricut for like homemade signs or things like this? Let me know. It was time to clean off the table. My friend had left, so it was all me at this point. This is where I start jamming the music a little bit louder and really get into my own groove here. Corey was already asleep, the girls were asleep, so now it's all on me to just make sure it all gets pulled together. I put the tablecloth, the Minnie Mouse one, but I didn't like, our table's really big, I didn't like the back not touching, so I ended up adding the black to it, and I think that it just turned out so good. I bought these little table centerpieces from Walmart as well, and I think it really helped tie in the whole theme. It's so cute. These are so easy to put together. Honestly, sometimes this is the fun part, when it's like a kit that you just have to build and it looks nice already, because when I make things myself, I'm not really sure if it's going to turn out, but when you buy it, you know, usually they turn out pretty good. So I put that in the center. I had her Pinata in the back as a like extra decoration, and then some of the balloons, and you'll see later in the video that I do cover the black as well with some confetti. Then I went through and put tape on the back of all the things I wanted to hang up on the wall. I really don't like to leave a lot of blank space, so I decided to cover really every single wall with some type of Minnie Mouse bow, the hands, the silhouette, something. So here I put up the happy birthday sign for where the presents were gonna go. At first I had one idea, and then I realized my balloon is bigger, and so I had to adjust it, move it all up. I'm definitely one of those people who has to see it. Here I am, you can tell, jamming out to some music. But I love the way that this little sign came together. This is one of the signs I believe that came with the balloon arch, so definitely don't be afraid to like change it up if that's not how you want to use it. You know, when it's a kit, you kind of have the freedom to do something different. Here I did not put them through string. I think that that's what they were intended for. And then on the other side, I added all of the little things that I had put tape on the back, so the silhouettes, the bows, the hearts. And honestly, this is just the cutest thing. This was really fun for me to do, place them everywhere. And just, I thought it was coming together so well at this point. I was really excited. When it's this late at night, you really have to enjoy doing this kind of stuff. Does anybody else do this, or is it just me who decorates everything the night before? Here's my gray walls. Of course, I had to add it all over to this, and what's really nice is that painter's tape doesn't really ruin the walls or anything, and then I spread out confetti on top of that black. As you can see, it really pops out, and I had a ton of left over of this confetti. My friend had shared, her daughter actually had a Minnie Mouse birthday too, so she gave me some of this stuff as well. And then that next day I put it all over the floor as well, which really made it so cute in the room, tied in the whole theme. It was Minnie Mouse for sure everywhere. I wanted them to have an interactive, like, pretend play. My daughter's really into that right now. I think it's just the age. So I had taken this flower crate cart that we made together, and I added these pulls so that I could put a sign above it. And honestly, I was going to paint those pulls white, but I didn't have time. I just zip tied them on here, and then you can see that I ended up putting a string, tied it across, and that's where I put bows, the sign on there, and I just, again, made it myself. And I have a little Minnie Mouse phone, a little Minnie Mouse cash register, and then I put a ton of bows. You're going to see that they're in that bow bag in the back with Minnie Mouse. I put all of those there for them to play, and they had so much fun. I even had ears for them to wear at the party. And then one table, which I didn't even film, had a ton of coloring sheets, and the other table had like another craft. So this was definitely a hit for them. Here's all the bows, and they loved it. After I decided to finally wrap all her gifts, so I got some bath bombs and a loofah for both of my girls. I tend to do that. And then I got a pajama. I tend to put, something in for my older daughter just so that she doesn't feel left out, especially if it's like a bath thing or something fun that they can both play. My girls are so close in age, so I do that for both of the birthdays. And honestly, they're so good about sharing, so it's really a nice thing. Here, I got her these like Nerf gun little ball things. It's so funny because they've been playing with these like crazy, and we all kind of participate. And then this dino build was so fun to do. My daughter Anova-Lys loves to help her dad build things. And then of course she's our little princess. Got her more princess shoes. Those ones are a little bit bigger, so it's kind of nice. All of the kids were able to fit in them. But I really didn't buy too much gift wise. Honestly, we have just so many toys, and I knew she'd be so excited with just the party in general. Her big gift you'll see at the very end of this video. It was so funny. She loves it. I have to place this in a few different ways to see which way I liked it. Of course, it takes forever. I reorganize, stand back, look at it. I have to get it right the way I like it before I can move on. Then I was able to finally start baking. Now, I decided to bake the cake with egg. My older daughter cannot have egg, and so I ended up making the cupcakes the next morning with no egg, and I did the cake with egg. And honestly, they both turned out amazing. This way I could have my daughter enjoy cupcakes, and everyone else really ate either the cake or cupcakes. You can't really tell a huge difference. You just substitute egg for applesauce and add baking powder, and it really tastes pretty much the same. But I just followed the box instructions, and then of course I tried to make the best version of Minnie Mouse possible. You'll have to let me know, what do you guys think? How'd it turn out? I use these pans, and I always put this liner at the bottom and then spray it. It helps. The cake literally just plops right out, and it's perfect. It doesn't stick at all, so I highly recommend using some of that parchment paper at the bottom. Really helps. And then I wanted to make these little Oreo Minnie Mouse silhouettes with Oreos that I had seen on Pinterest. And so of course wash your hands for this part, because you're going to be touching every single Oreo, which honestly I was okay with doing. You could wear gloves, but I just had washed my hands to do this. I melted white chocolate, the white baking chips, and then dipped it into that and put it into a big Oreo, and you're going to see that it makes this perfect little Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse silhouette. You could do this definitely for a boy as well. And I love these. These were definitely a hit. People loved these. So definitely, if you haven't tried something like this, it's super simple. You just want to peel apart the little mini Oreos, and then I dipped half of it and put sprinkles on it, and then I put a little dot of that melted white chocolate and put the hearts next to each other to make it look like a little bow. They're not perfect, but honestly, I love the way that they turned out. I did end up keeping them on parchment paper and putting them on a tray to stick in the fridge until the white chocolate hardened, and so that I could have them for that next day. Next, I went ahead and I filled the Pinata. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever filled the Pinata. I think usually Corey does this, but since he had already fallen asleep, I went ahead and did this. And here we are, mom's strength not working this late at night. Oh, so I went ahead and just got some scissors and was able to move along a lot faster. And I just decided to keep it really simple, do some gummies, some suckers, and some ring pops, and the kids loved it. It was perfect. I didn't want to do any type of chocolates or anything with the food allergies. This is just simple, and my daughter is obsessed with these little dum-dum suckers, so I figured I would just make her happy with those. Now, I used the rest of the ring pop for our party favors, which the kids absolutely loved. Here they are. I'm just cutting some tissue in half, and then I bought 8 or 9 cups. However, I had a little freak out the next morning, and Corey had to go back to the store to buy more because I just felt like I didn't have enough for all the kids. So he ended up buying a few more and did buy some Mickey Mouse for boys. I just put these cute little crayon coloring things. I put hair bows and a lip gloss and a little thank you note from Anova for each kid with a ring pop. And honestly, these are some of my favorite things to do. I love having something for the kids to take home. I think at a birthday party, it's hard at this age for little kids to see someone else open gifts and then they don't get anything. So it doesn't have to be something big, but I always like to give them a little something to take home. And these cups are cups we use all the time in our house. So I love buying these cups. The girls love using, the cups that they've had in the parties in the past. So we have like My Little Pony, we have mermaid ones, we have the Minnie Mouse cup now, we have a Trolls cup, and they're from all the years. So it's kind of the memories. Here's the cake. I went ahead and put a pink coat all the way, like pink frosting down first, and then I went through it and just made these like roses almost. And I did that to the entire cake. I had seen something similar done on Pinterest. It wasn't these exact colors, but I went ahead and just did the colors that I thought would match the theme. And honestly, I was kind of impressed with myself. They turned out pretty good. I filled in the spots just so that it would look really full. I did the same thing to the ears, and then I had just bought the white pearls candy, like the edible candy, and I added that, and that made it look super girly. I was just super impressed. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to hit the easy button and order a cake, but I was so happy this time that I didn't. And honestly, everybody loved this cake. It was just super simple, strawberry flavor, and it turned out really good. So I was kind of impressed with myself here. I did end up adding a bow that I just made again with I think it was like cardstock paper, and I cut it out, but I think it added a little touch to it. Homemade for sure. And here's all those little pearls. I just kind of put them wherever I felt they looked good. Kind of in between the roses is what I was aiming for, but honestly, it was just random for the most part. Let me know what you guys think of how this turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. Next, I went ahead and I made a fruit and veggie platter. This is something I do for pretty much every single party. Of course, I had to try to match the theme, which honestly, I see it, but I'm not really sure once people started eating from it that you could really tell what it was, but it was a Minnie Mouse silhouette or Mickey Mouse silhouette. And I just did one veggie tray and one fruit tray. Kept it super simple. Honestly, sometimes I think I make this prep part a little bit harder on myself. Here are the cupcakes that I did no egg, just the applesauce replace, and they turned out so cute. I made it into a number 3, and then again I just made homemade. I did I used my Cricut and I cut out some bows, and I put the wild 3, cut them out, and I laminated some of them so that they would stay kind of nice and firm. And then I just added it to a toothpick, and there you go. That was the toppers for these cupcakes, and I was really impressed with how it turned out. So honestly, this is a cheap alternative to buying. You can always try to make it yourself. And then here is how everything turned out. I was super happy with it. People were showing up at this point, so I was quickly trying to film. I missed doing the arts and craft table, but that's okay. You guys know I like to print out the stuff that goes along with the theme. So the kids had an art table, and then here's how the dessert table and party favor table turned out. This was my favorite part, I think, along with here's the Anova-Lys Bowtique. Corey's outside barbecuing hot dogs and hamburgers. We've got yours say cheers so that they could take pictures. Hot Diggity Dog Bar was super cute because we were doing hot dogs and hamburgers, fruit and veggie platter, and then these cute little plates. I did end up buying, like I said, the Mickey Mouse just in case. We did have a few, boys there, dads, brothers, and then it was a super small party, but it was still so much fun. All the toppings were there. And then also I wanted to show you guys on the floor, I had put the confetti. I wore my Minnie Mouse socks, and you know me, I had to dress up. So here is what I was wearing. Of course, I put the ears on. I had a Minnie Mouse shirt, and I did end up choosing to do a little sign for the front, and we ended up getting a bounce house for the kids to play on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here was my daughter's big surprise gift.